तो So we'll start exactly at 5:35.
Okay, perfect.
Welcome everyone to the 9th session of Day Talks. ये उन दिनों की बात है. So I'm very pleased to welcome you all from IIT Delhi Alumni Association. And now I would request our president, Mr. Kalpin Shukla, for the introduction.
Hello, very good evening, everyone. I'm Kalpin Shukla. I'm very happy to see this program becoming more and more popular as we go forward. When we started, we wanted to ensure that many of us who are past 30-35 years should be able to come together somewhere, sometime, and share some of those memories of our hostel days and our campus days. In fact, many a times we have seen that the newer generation, when they hear about people having stayed in the kind of environment on the campus, it sounds like a fairy tale. And I'm sure people like Narendra Madan can vouch for it as to how it was in the 60s and 70s. Having said this, yes, in fact, this program is this initiative is aiming to breed that camaraderie, bring the generations together. We have now almost 50-55 years between the first lot of IITians who came out versus the recent batch which will come out in next 15-20 days. Now, having said this, this is for having fun. There is no objective. There is no purpose. You're free to share your memories. Of course, make it slightly more palatable to the audience around. And I'm very happy today itself we have 4 participants, our eminent guests here. And there is a gap of 25 years between the two. So I see Anil J, who represents 79 batch. And I have Ashnir, who is 2004 batch. So I'm very happy to see this spread also within one event. Happy to see all of you. Welcome all of you. And please enjoy the session and share the memories that come to your mind without inhibition and without reservation. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Carry on.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kalpin Shukla, our president. I also welcome Mr. Narendra Madan, who will be the session, who also will be moderating this session today along with me. So welcome everyone. So today we have with us Mr. Anil Bhatnagar from class of 1979, Mr. Umesh Vyas, class of 1982, Ganesh Sahai, class of 1993, and our favorite Ashnir Grover from class of 2004. So welcome everyone. And we'll start with Anil ji first. So Anil ji is a corporate trainer, keynote speaker, author, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award in Learning and Development. Anil has trained professionals in over 125 companies globally. He's the author of 5 books, a columnist with 50 plus published articles, a painter, passionate students of the neuroscience of unconscious drivers of human behavior. So warm welcome, Mr. Anil Bhatnagar from the class of 1979.
Thank you.
Our second panelist for today is Mr. Umesh Vyas from the class of 1982, BTech Chemical Engineering from Nilgiri Hostel, IITD. So with 35 plus years of experience in performance management and transformation, Anil has held leadership roles at Serco, Wipro, and Genpact. He currently leads Tapas Consultant Services and teaches at QMath. Also visiting faculty at IIM Amritsar, has worked in software training and cement sectors. Welcome, Mr. Vyas. Now, our third panelist for today is Ganesh Sahai from class of 1993, BTech Textile Technology, Aravali Hostel. So Ganesh brings over 25 years of global tech experience with experience at Adobe and Oracle, recognized by HRI as a tech pioneer. He's a TEDx, NASCOM, and IEEE speaker. So welcome, Mr. Ganesh Sahai.
Thank you.
And our next panelist is Mr. Ashnir Grover from the class of 2004, BTech Chemical Engineering, from Kumaon Hostel, so co-founder of Bharat Pay and currently leading Third Unicorn. He is the best-selling author of Doglapan and a renowned media personality featuring on Shark Tank India. A prolific investor in 90 plus startups, he continues to shape India's entrepreneurial ecosystem. So warm welcome, Ashneer ji.
Yeah, thank you.
And now I would
I'm actually civil
like
engineering, not
our
chemical.
first panelist to kindly share his journey. So, Mr. Anil Bhatnagar, sir, looking back, please share about your overall journey, those days at IIT Delhi. What was pleasant, what was not so pleasant, about your roommates, hostel mates, the institute, your favorite professor, and advice to the current generation.
Okay, thank you.
Gitanji,
Thank you,
I'm going to
Gitanji.
stop it here. Sorry, Anil. I think you also need to
Anil ji?
start. Anil, you need to start it. How did you ever get to know what is IIT? And when did you get to know that you had to become an engineer here? I think if you start from there, that'll be really good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, when I came to IIT, we are actually three brothers who have studied in IIT Delhi. So,
Wow.
my eldest brother, who joined in 66 and graduated in 71.
Wow.
And my second brother was 2 years elder to me. He joined in 72 and graduated in 77. So for many, many days, when I joined IIT, I did not dare to go to the hostel for the fear of hazing. And my brother told me that what you cannot avoid, meet it head on. So, and he said, I will not protect you or save you, because that's how you make friends. And as early as possible, start joining the hostel. And my elder brother, in those days, people used to write letters. So he was abroad and he wrote me a letter that these 5 years that you spend at IIT will determine the kind of person you will become in next 80 years. So pay attention. So actually, he was right. I found that whatever I do in IIT, that's exactly I continued after IIT also. I learned more from the hostel life than from the institute. And whatever I learned at the institute, I forgot very soon. So, but the memories of my time at the hostel, in those days, there used to be a black and white television in the common room. And there was one common phone which you have to pay, and there used to be a long queue. And on Wednesday there used to be Chitrahar, and even for Chitrahar the common room used to be packed. And on Fridays there used to be a movie, and we used to look forward to it. And then Wednesday we used to have Western dinner, and we would be served soup and bread, butter, and all that. And it was a usual thing that the person serving us will forget until where he has served. So we will hide, the last man will hide that he had been served, so that we get a second plate. So I have some very, very beautiful memories of those days. And I also remember that the first day I dared to join the hostel, at that time it was the worst day for me. But when I look back, it makes me smile today. The gentleman took me at 3 p.m. to his room, and he said, you have to clean this room. And I thought he'll give me a rag to clean it, but he instead gave me a toothbrush. And he said, you have to clean this room with the toothbrush. So I have some beautiful memories. At that time, it was a tough day. I finished at 3 a.m. from 3 p.m. and cleaning rooms and all that. But when I look back, these are beautiful memories. And I learned a lot of my time at IIT. I developed a taste for painting. I remember that on one particular night, I started painting and I forgot. I immersed myself. And then the next day, people came to bring me breakfast and they told that you are here sitting for last 18 hours at a stretch and not getting up. And I had forgotten to eat and all that. So one thing that I learned at IIT was immersing myself in whatever I undertake, developed powerful focus. But I wish I had studied a little more sincerely there. I spent most of my time studying scriptures instead of engineering books. I also developed a great interest in philosophy, and but good thing I started yoga at a very early age in IIT itself, and I got into dramatics, and I participated in a lot of dramas, and I also won the Best Director Award, and I directed a play for Nilgiri, and I also earned the outstanding contribution to the art society during those days. And I was overjoyed. In our days, there used to be a Hindi magazine, Vatayan, and I just contributed one of my stories there. And I never hoped it, but it won me the first or the best story of the year award. And
Wow.
then I have very fond memories of uh, seminar hall where musical evenings will be held, cultural programs will be there. And very recently, I was overjoyed when I realized that I have a recording, which is 47-year-old of a musical evening conducted at Seminar Hall. I think it's a $1 million memory for me, and I think nobody would expect someone to have a recording of those days when I recorded a musical evening. I never knew that these cassettes will be out soon, but I somehow managed to purchase a cassette player from and during my last US visit, and I was very, very happy to see that it is still running beautifully. And I also remember that uh, we used to make a commitment with the start of every semester that this time I will study very, very carefully and in a focused way. But within a week or so, I will find that I'm falling behind the class, and that's how it went on. But uh, in the fourth year, I learned something which I always remember, which was this. I was walking with two of my best friends were toppers. And one day when I was returning from the institute to the hostel for the lunch, I had a beautiful learning. So I asked my friend, how do you manage to be a topper? I never see you studying. And even in the class, I am always writing, 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 and I hardly see you making any notes. And I wish I had questioned this a few years ago, but this was fourth year, and he shared that that explains the difference. when the teacher is teaching, I just listen and focus on understanding what he's saying. If you are at that time writing, the brain can do only one thing. If you are writing, you won't be able to listen. If you don't listen, you don't understand. And people write because they think that when they go to the hostel and read what they have written, they will understand. But if you have not understood while writing it, you will also not understand when you're reading it. That completely changed my style of studying, and I wish this could have happened 2, 3 years ago. So my final year, I did very well. And I had all the A's except one B. And this did not make me happy. In fact, I cried that I could have done it a little earlier. But I have no regrets. All these things I teach to my mentees these days, whatever I learned. Learning not necessarily comes from positive. Learning also comes from the mistakes that we have done in our lives.
Right, right,
Mistakes, I
right.
believe, are our greatest teachers.
That's right, Anilji. Can I quickly go to Mr. Ashnir Grover?
Sure, sure.
Thank you so much, Anilji, for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So I believe I'm the youngest in the lot. uh, so I
It's
graduated.
always for the eldest to the youngest here.
Yeah, okay. No, I was expecting to come in at the last, so I'm a bit taken
So you know
aback
the
that
difference,
I've been,
you know, in the years which have been passed by. What has changed from his time to your time?
yeah. So I'm 2003, 2004 graduate from IIT Delhi, civil engineering. Uh, so yeah, I was a day scholar, so I don't have those fond memories of the hostel, other than the fact that it didn't go to one, right? That is my fondest memory, but never went to a hostel. I was attached to Kumau. Went first day, I was duly ragged. Was asked कि तेरी हवा कितनी है, which was the all India rank, right? And that was the last I ever saw of the hostel. In fact, one of my friends who I used to stay in Malvinagar, so at my time you could not get a hostel if you were staying so nearby. And one of my friends who was staying in Gurgaon, he stayed in hostel for exactly 2 days, and then after that ran with me to my house. Uh, uh, so I first semester for me was a haze because वो होता है ना उस टाइम की इतनी तैयारी करके आए होते हैं तो आपको लगता है चलो अब तो हो गया, या माँ बाप ने भी इतना बोला होता है कि एक बारी घुसना है
Can you be a
उसके बाद
little
तो
louder, Ashnir? We actually cannot hear you very well. So please be a little louder.
Oh.
can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah, a little more louder if you
Okay,
can
okay.
just. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what I was saying was, first semester I took it light because इतनी 2 साल की मेहनत करके जब घुसे थे तो हमको ये लगने लगा कि चलो हो गया अब तो एडमिशन होना था, पेरेंट्स ने भी यही बोला था कि एडमिशन होना चाहिए, बाकी सब सेट है, तो हमको भी लगा ठीक है सेट है. So I got a SGPA of 7.3, but one of my friends then took me aside and he said कि भाई तू कर क्या रहा है यहाँ पे, nothing is established, look at how many of us are here, 400 in this batch, and 5-6 IITs all across, so you'll have to fight it out and be on the top of things. So I got cracking at it. Second semester के बाद से मेरे 9 pointer and above आने लगे. One of the few guys who actually hit a 10 or a 10 pointer in the last semester, right? And which was a big thing because by the last semester आपको या तो मास्टर की कॉल आ चुकी होती है, या आपको एमबीए की कॉल आ चुकी होती है, या आपकी जॉब लग चुकी होती है, तो मोटिवेशन बहुत कम होता है. But I hit a 10 pointer in the last semester. And the interesting thing was I was departmental rank 2 for 7 semesters. In the 8th semester, when I hit the 10 pointer, I became the departmental rank 1, right? At the very end, in the last semester, for exactly 2 hours. For exactly 2 hours. Because what happened was the departmental rank 1 ही वेंट क्राइंग टू अ प्रॉफ सेइंग कि सर मेरी तो जिंदगी खराब हो गई, मतलब मैं 7 सेमेस्टर तक नंबर 1 था और लास्ट सेमेस्टर में आके मैं नंबर 2 हो गया। तो एक प्रोफेसर ने उनका एक ग्रेड बढ़ा दिया
Okay. Okay.
कि होता है ना कि चलो ठीक है, सहानुभूति में चलो एक ए नेक का ए कर दिया या कुछ कर दिया, एक ग्रेड बढ़ा दिया बस। एंड मेरा बदकिस्मती ये थी कि मैं आई हैड ऑलरेडी हिट अ 10, राइट?
Okay.
सो मेरा स्कोप ही नहीं था कुछ बढ़ाने का, मतलब मैं क्रेडिट्स तो बढ़ा नहीं सकता था, राइट?
Right, right, right. Exactly.
सब में it was A+, so I was a 10, so I had nowhere to go. So yeah, that's the memory. But great time at IIT. Very hard to pinpoint what it actually does to you. But अगर मैं आपको anecdotally बताऊं तो my batch of 2004 pass out, or 2000 entry rather, 2000 entry and 2004 and 2005 pass out is a very infamous batch because there are some 111 unicorns in India right now. So these are startups worth 1 billion valuation plus. I think from our batch itself, this one batch, 2000 entry, I know of some close to 30 batchmates who are founders of these unicorns. So, you know, 30 out of 111 unicorn coming from a single
Batch.
a single IIT.
So this is a unicorn batch. We can
Yeah,
call it.
yeah. So water was definitely contaminated that year.
So you're also a billionaire?
Yeah. So yeah, and sometimes we think ki what happened, and I also actually get asked a lot ki what was so special about this batch. And I think it's nothing special. It's you just learn from the peer group, right? In our batch, the guys who started things were Sachin and Binny Bansal with Flipkart.
Flipkart.
Yeah.
And Dipinder Goyal with Zomato in the north, right? एंड हुआ क्या कि जब काम शुरू किया तो सबको लगने लगे यार हमारे बैचमेट को ही बुलाते हैं, यही समझदार लोग हैं. सो ऑल ऑफ अस joined one or the other two, right? Someone joined Flipkart or an offshoot of Flipkart, someone joined Zomato or an offshoot of Zomato. For example, I joined Albinder Deemsa, who's the founder of Grofers, which is now Blinkit, right? Now he had joined Dipinder Goyal. सो उसने 2-2.5 साल काम किया दीपेंद्र गोयल के साथ, उसको लगा इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है, बेवकूफ है, मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. तो उसने फॉल्स कॉन्फिडेंस में आके ग्रूफर्स चालू कर लिया. फिर मैंने उसके साथ 2-2.5 साल काम किया, फिर मेरे को लगा ये क्या बड़ी बात है, मैं तो डिपार्टमेंटल रैंक 2 था, ये तो मेरे नोट्स पढ़ के पास हुआ है, मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. तो आई केम आउट एंड आई स्टार्टेड भारत पे, एंड दैट्स हाउ is the story for most of us. So I think it's just the false confidence of the complete batch, which helped us build sort of 30 out of the 111 unicorns. So yeah, it's all great fun. But one more last thing I'll put out, and then I'll give it back to you folks. हम ना बस कई बारी when the numbers become big, everyone starts thinking कि यार शुरू से ही पता नहीं बहुत ब्रेनी होंगे या क्या दिमाग चलता होगा या क्या होगा. One anecdote I keep telling people, when I was at Grofers, which is now Blinkit, तो बीच में बिजनेस फ्लैट सा हो गया था, मतलब मजा नहीं आ रहा था. तो अलबिंदर ने मेरे को बोला यार बेच देते हैं, ठीक है, कि देख बात कर, फ्लिपकार्ट को बेच देते हैं, अमेजोन को बेच देते हैं, जो खरीदेगा उसको बेच देंगे. So I started talking to people. Now, of course, अब सेम बैच के हैं तो we would reach out to Sachin and Binny, right? Now, so much for the alumni network, we reached out to them, they never replied. सेम बैच के लोग हैं, कोई जवाब ही नहीं है. और ऐसा नहीं, उनको भी नहीं पता हम क्या कर रहे हैं, राइट? उनको भी पता हम क्या कर रहे हैं, उनको भी पता है कि काम की बात के लिए कर रहे होंगे. नेवर रिप्लाइड, नेवर रिप्लाइड. So one day, I came back to office and Albinder was very introspective, बैठा हुआ कुछ सोच रहा था. तो मैंने बोला क्या हुआ? कहता है यार मेरे को समझ आ गया कि बिन्नी मेरे को जवाब क्यों नहीं दे रहा है. ठीक है, तो मेरे को लगा पता नहीं कुछ तो उसने निकाला होगा, कुछ इन्वेस्टर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट या क्या कहते हैं, कोई सिनर्जीज नहीं बैठ रही, या कुछ तो लॉजिकल रीजन निकाला होगा. वो बोलता है यार एक बारी ना 3rd ईयर में हम बास्केटबॉल खेल रहे थे और बिन्नी ना उस टाइम पे बहुत मोटा होता था, तो बास्केटबॉल खेलते हुए मैंने उसको बोल दिया अबे भैंसे हिल ले, ठीक है. तो ये अभी तक उसकी बात की खुंदक निकाल रहा है हम हमसे. So yeah, it's been fun. A lot of stories dating back to the campus, but back to you guys. Thanks.
Any other incident coming to your mind, which is still there, registered in your memory? Favorite professor, your crush, rendezvous?
No, I actually for 1 year in between I went to France for an exchange, right? So मेरा थोड़ा mixed memories हैं of France and the Delhi campus.
Okay.
Right.
So the
Thank
next
you.
one.
Thank you. Yes. Mr. Umesh Vyas.
Yes. Okay. So I'll share a few memories.
Yes.
I will start with most pleasant memories from campus. The most pleasant memory is non-academic, but I will also share some very pleasant academic memories. So my most pleasant memories from IIT campus are from seminar hall. It's the dramatics club and the plays that we did.
But we can't see your face.
Can you now?
Yes,
A
we
little
can.
more.
It is better. It is
Little more,
better.
little more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now it's better. Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just trying to get closer to the mic so that maybe I'll tilt the screen.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, this is better.
Okay. So as I was saying, my most pleasant memory is from seminar hall. The plays that we did. I was the dramatic club secretary for the Hindi side. And our most pleasant memories were working with a legendary theatre director called Habib Tanir, who's known for folk theatre. So that I would say constitutes the most pleasant memory, and I maintain my interest in theatre to date. The best subject that I remember from the institute actually probably has nothing to do with either chemical engineering or engineering. It was a subject called science dynamics, which was conducted by Dr. Juzer Wazi, helped by Dr. Dinesh Mohan, which was on the history and philosophy of science. Dr. Wazi, I believe, was and remains probably the most well-read man I know, person I know. And it instilled a strong interest in reading about science, technology, its history and philosophy that I maintain to date. The other course I thoroughly enjoyed, learned a lot from, was a mechanics course conducted by Dr. P. Dumir. What was beautiful about this course was he used to start his lectures by, on the top left corner of the blackboard, writing down 6 equations. 3 equations of motion and 3 equations of angular motion. And then he used to pose problems and solve them initially using those 6 equations. And his lecture was so popular that there was normally no seating space left in the lecture hall. And he used to start his lectures by saying, All those who do not belong here, please leave. So that was PC Dumir and mechanics. Also, despite its political sensitivity, like to share my most unpleasant experiences. That was one of our teachers from the department. I believe over the years, a very well known and famous person.
I think we have lost him.
Yes. Mr. Ross, can you hear us?
Yeah.
We have lost you.
Yeah, I said, can I risk naming the person?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so the most unpleasant memory was the academic memory of being taught by Dr. O.P. Amar. Because his methods, I think, were, I would say, verging on the obnoxious. But having said that, I think I also learned at least one lesson from him, which I think helped me in my career, which is I think he was the most fascinating tutor. During tutorials, he used to ask people कि ये तुमने खुद किया है सम की क्यों है तो सच्ची बता दो अगर टीपा है भी बता दो पास कर दूंगा नहीं तो फिर कर दूंगा अगर झूठ बोल के बोला कि मैंने खुद किया है and then the questions he would ask to confirm whether the guy did it himself. He used to say viscosity का वैल्यून इट्स कहाँ से निकाला सर वो IS 1940 से निकाला खुद निकाला या नहीं सर खुद निकाला है अच्छा बताओ लैब में कहाँ पड़ी है स्टैंडर्ड ऊपर के शेल्फ में मिडिल शेल्फ में नीचे के शेल्फ में मोटी है कि पतली है कवर लाल है कि I mean his auditing instincts were so beautiful. I remember these to date and I used to use them when I was working as a tutor for the BP industry. These are some of my memories.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Vyas.
Yeah, Gitanjali, before you proceed, I have a question to all of you. And that is, how much engineering has helped you in your career when you're really working here? Please touch on that also. I'll ask Ganesh to start that. do include that, how much engineering has helped you in your career.
I'm just trying to, figure out what part of engineering I should recall. Because at IIT, everything happened except engineering. In fact, re-engineering happened. So when I first came to IIT, I had come to give an exam of National Defense Academy at UPSC, and my mother was with me. I was staying at Saket at relative place. So we'll pick up the prospectus from the IIT campus, and then so I was based out in Dehradun, so there were no centers over there. So I had come to Delhi. So I went as the auto entered, the IIT campus, and I looked at it. I said, "Hi, this is yeah, right." So and then when I cleared JE, and first time I got into hostel and classes started. So like I was wondering, यहाँ आना था क्या? So that was, and it was at that point I'm very overwhelming, surrounded by very intelligent people, right? And so much happening at the same time. And of course, uh, my family, a lot of people came from forces, so they led a very disciplined life, no casualness around. And when you enter the hostel, everything is casual over there. Even the mess is casual. So I said, "Ye kahan aa gaye?" So, but anyways, yeah, managed 4 years, and uh, I really loved engineering part. But somehow, it was too theoretical, too much theoretical, and there was so much of grade competition that by the time I passed out, I lost interest in engineering. But anyways, after that, I dabbled around with few things, and then I realized, no, I like working on technology and I like working on engineering. So I kind of basically, in 99, before 99, I joined as faculty for IIT Kharagpur in their distance learning education program, and I was working to help US-based a team to help a center in India. That was started by a VP of Oracle, right? And they were coming up with Java-based forms technology. So I worked with them for around 1.5 year, and then I got selected at Adobe in 1999. There were very few people, around 25 engineers. We were working on some really good, work. And that's where basically, my core software technology journey started. And I spent almost 12 years over there. It was great. And uh, but one of the interesting things that I learned at IIT was the brutal reasoning that used to happen in the hostel, right? Sometimes random, right? But the logical connect that you people used to build, जिसको फट्टेबाजी भी बोलते थे, it used to be really amusing and interesting, right? जैसे मतलब तेरा हवा क्या है, for example, Ashneer was sharing, right? It was air, basically AIR, All India rank, right? And many of those, and I remember during the initial month, Randuvu came, right? Ours was a batch which started 1 month late, so we had Saturday working, so it was even brutal, right? Compared to other batches, because the professors had gone on strike, so we got admission 1 month late. So you can imagine, first semester, first year at IIT, and no Saturday breaks. It was brutal, right? So Randu आ गया, so one of my senior took me. So he was kind to me. He said, "तेरी ragging होती रहेगी, यहाँ पे चल मेरे साथ तू." So he took me to this place, uh, seminar hall, right? So उसके ऊपर वहाँ सीढ़ियाँ हैं, वहाँ जहाँ सेनेट रूम है ऊपर. So they had gathered around convocation hall के अंदर कुछ तो plan कर रहे थे. So he said, ये पानी की bottle पकड़ ले, right? And if somebody asks, just give them. So then another guy, उसके साथ बात करते, he said, पानी देना जरा. तो I gave him the bottle, तो उसने पानी पी लिया मुंह से लगा के, ठीक है. Then there was other guy who came and said पानी देना, तो उसने उसका कैप उतार के उसने पानी डाला और आधा पिया और आधा मेरे को पकड़ा दिया. Now I had the bottle and half cup of that water, and there was no place where I could dump it. तो मैंने उसको वापस वहां डाल दिया. तो he saw it. He said, ये क्या कर रहा है तू? तो मैं कहा, हाउ डज इट मैटर? सब इससे पी भी रहे हैं और तूने भी पिया, इसमें डाल दिया. तो he started to fight with me. Then this other guy जो मेरे को लेके आया था, वो आया क्या था, it's okay यार. So I mean, the reasoning part was which played out very well. And when I was at Adobe, after I learned, whatever the routine work was, it started to get boring. So I started to work on some innovative ideas, and for the first time, Adobe India campus, we started to file patents. And one day, me and my engineers got a mail from the current CEO of Adobe, Shantanu, congratulating us. And like we were the pioneers in starting that kind of an innovation thing. So that continued. I worked with Oracle, set up my own startup. The funny thing about startup was, I did multiple things, and it was called Book My Interview. So I was like, I set up a center to kind of give free technical education to people, and thinking that we will place them in the future and then start to make money from the corporates. But people wanted jobs more badly than they wanted to learn things. So I, kind of talked to a couple of my friends and they mentored them, and then they realized that, you got to train yourself well when, we place them. But then it struck me that this mentoring is more important. And so I set up this, book my interview thing to connect, industry experienced people with aspiring candidates and conduct mock interviews. And we went into B2B, also had, few customers, we were break even. But then, like I put up a timeline, right, by which I will make my startup successful or exit. And that timeline came, and I exited, and I went, back to corporate. So in 2022, a guy calls up from Silicon Valley to understand how to penetrate the Indian market for his startup. I checked out their startup. They were doing exactly what we were doing, in fact, a subset of that. And they had raised $240 million at a valuation of $1.1 billion. So, so I went back to some of my batchmates who were my advisors that, if he had continued, maybe this would have been a unicorn. But anyways, so coming back to the technology and engineering part, I love doing that. And I think the brutal reasoning part played out in, doing innovative things at Adobe and thereafter, right? And I continue to enjoy technology, being the chief technology officer at Nagarro. Yeah.
Well, I have one more question to all of you. And that is, see, when we come to know about IIT, that we have to go for JEE and things like that, but we are a cat before that. We are one of the best students in our schools, in our colleges, etc. before you come to IIT. But the moment you come to IIT, suddenly you will find that almost everybody is a cat here. So how do you feel about
Overwhelmed. Totally overwhelmed. Psyched.
I mean, how do you find that every other guy happens to be a cat by himself here?
गलत जगह आ गए.
You, Ashir? What was your reaction to that? Ashley, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, sir, I can. No,
Yeah.
obviously, I think that hits you very hard because, as you rightly point out, कि आपके स्कूल में आपके तो सबको पता ही होता है कि ये 4-5 लड़के या लड़कियां यही तेज हैं, right? So there's an unsaid hierarchy, and you enjoy that position. But when you come here, it's like everyone is a stud. Yeah, but I think that's the
Brutal
fun
होता
part
है.
of it. That's also where a lot of the learning seems to come from, right? I think as I keep pointing out, for us, हमने तो सिर्फ कैंपस में नहीं सीखा है, मतलब कैंपस के बाद काम करके भी अपने पीयर ग्रुप से ही सीखा है, right? So yeah, you have there's a price to pay to being among smart people, but then hopefully the return is as good. Yeah.
So
Arel,
one
you?
thing
Sorry. Ganesh, carry on. Sorry.
No, it reminds me of a very interesting episode. First minor happened. There used to be PH 110 course, physics, right? And सबके मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, किसी के 2 आ रहे हैं, 3 आ रहे हैं, 4 आ रहे हैं. मेरे को लगा मेरे तो वही 0.5 ही आएंगे, right? And when I got my answer script, it was 17 out of 30. I said, गलत हो गया कुछ यार ये. You are so much psyched and overwhelmed कि भाई यहाँ बहुत स्टड लोग हैं, तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं होने वाला. So I was like, okay, so yeah, so you really get psyched up. I wish that could be handled appropriately, but that is the way it is actually, because you're feeling homesick also. Then this brutality is here. So you're not performing at your optimum level actually in the first year. Let me put it bluntly, right? It's not a healthy environment to kind of play at your fullest potential. It could be better, I guess, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, but don't you think that as you graduate to the first year to the last year, suddenly you find that you are turned from a boy to a man?
Yeah, a brutal man.
A brutal man.
तब तो, yeah, I mean, yeah, by the time you reach 4th year, then कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Yeah, bring it on, anything. I'm game for
Any
it.
comment from Anil or Umesh?
Yeah, I think it is humbling when you were a topper in the school and when you come to the college and see that how everybody is competing and doing so well. It's very humbling, and
Yeah.
to be humble at an early stage of your life, I think it does help in life. Secondly, I don't think that engineering, whatever we learned in the college, that in rare cases help you in your later life where you are in an engineering job, but it indirectly helps you. It helps you become a solution oriented person, a very rational person, and you develop a habit of questioning things. And that is the greatest gift of IIT. You know,
Yeah.
I'm more into personal development and all those things. But I normally ask questions that what is the evidence and why do you believe so? So those things help indirectly. Maybe not, we do not use the engineering directly the way we learn, but the
Yeah.
process of learning technology and engineering makes us a rational person, and that helps.
I
Great.
think the way you reason out things, being in the hostel and campus, with the, the people around, you sharpen your, reasoning skills, to go deeper into things as you present
Absolutely.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. Umesh ji, you're very quiet. We
Yeah.
can't hear you.
Can
Yes.
I add a few things here?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Vijay Bahadur. I am chemical engineering 1981-85 batch. मेरा ख्याल दो चीजें जो हैं when you have your life in the hostel and in the college. One thing, right at the time of ragging, what we learned is कि कैसे सबकी गालियां देना है और सबसे गालियां सुनना है. That brings you down, and that makes you accept every situation. तो वो जो शुरू में जो माँ बहन की गालियां बोलते हैं और वो उसमें इनोवेशन होता है, that helps a lot. And of course, I mean, the main takeaway from the college is that your sense of logic improves a lot. I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
very well said.
yeah.
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 I think the
What's your
discussions are
advice to
really
the current?
brutal.
What's your advice to the current generation? Because बहुत सारे
Yeah.
students are also have also joined us. So what is your advice?
See, I wouldn't call it an advice. I would call about my learning, and my learning is acceptance and gratitude are these two things that are extremely important in life. And I think right from the college days, this starts to come in as you see the environment around you and the changes happening all around you. So acceptance and gratitude helps you in relationships, helps you in work, helps you everywhere. So that's all I can say.
Anybody else from the audience would like to say something?
We can take up some questions. Neeraj, would you
Yeah.
like to ask something? I can see Mr. Jain also. So, audience, the floor is open.
It looks like nobody wants to ask any questions. They
The
all are very
audience need to
smart
go
guys.
back to IIT. Bad joke.
No. I think Anil has been a trainer all his life here. Anil, anything you would like to share it with the students? I mean, how they should handle their life as they grow up?
I think these days there is a lot of pressure, and at the
Yeah.
end of the day, one thing that really helps us is you compare yourself with who you were yesterday and not with others. Once you do that, a lot of stress goes away, and I think it's a very rational thing to do. And because you cannot become the other person, Everybody is
Absolutely.
trying to do his best, and I believe we should spend a lot of time in silence. When I read the biographies of Albert Einstein and many of the scientists, I discovered one thing common in them was they spend a lot of time in solitude. And because solitude helps you asking the right kind of questions. Einstein spent a lot of time fishing, and in those moments of silence, a lot of clarity comes about the purpose of life, what we need to do. Another thing that I find is that I spent 30, 40 years of my life studying scriptures and philosophy and all that, and wanting to become this or that. But now I realize that the real P, I will explain in terms of point and a line. A line is a collection of points. So life is a collection of present moments. And in each, then I define peace as a point, as a present moment without thoughts. If you have no thoughts in this moment, I call that as peace. And I define happiness as the line, a collection of such moments in your life. And that is leading a blissful life, not comparing yourself with anyone. Because so long as you're comparing yourself with someone else, you will always be chasing something. Like on the road, there is, when the cars run, there are dogs who run behind that. You don't know why they're running. They will never be able to, really become that car. But then the car goes away, then the next car comes, they again run after that. So we ought to do a little better than humans. Do not compete. Try to not think unnecessary thoughts, because whatever you fear will not happen, whatever you are not preparing for, because life is very, very unpredictable. And as Vijayji said, we need to be grateful for what we have got in our lives. That also helps. And
Very,
do
very
not,
nicely explained.
yeah,
Very
and
nice.
do not
Yes.
chase things curiosity is a very good thing. I think curiosity, asking questions is very good. But we should at some point of time understand there is no point spending 40 years of life trying to solve questions that can never be answered. So there are things, most of the violence in the world is because our beliefs do not match. And beliefs
Right.
are not truth.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Who would like to go next? Neeraj, you want to say something? Because we have to close this session in another 10 minutes. So if there are any more questions, please, we can take them up.
I have just, one question, and I think I am quite offshoot, typical IITians who, go to US, UK, and I am like from past 10 years, I'm in Africa. So my elder brother is also from IIT Delhi pass out, and he's running his own company in Mumbai. So I just wanted a view from here. There is very accomplished people here. Ashnir is there, Ganesh is there, and all others, my seniors. What they view if suppose, okay, one is my life path because I choose this life path. I like, trying to set up something or helping people and advising them here in Africa. What they think is what they view Africa as such. It's very offshoot question. So that's why I thought maybe I should, ask them what is their view. Do they how they see Africa as, because they are very accomplished people in India and fast moving countries compared to Africa. So that's was my question.
So which part of Africa you are in?
I'm in Uganda. Last year I was in Zimbabwe, before that Zambia, and then before that
Okay.
Nigeria, and then before that Dubai.
So we have a
Neeraj, did-
promising business in South Africa. So we love South Africa. The rest we are trying to figure out.
Okay.
there's one question which I have to all of you. But how do you feel that we can strengthen our association, the IIT because unless and until we strengthen our association, our networking and everything will not really bring in fruit for all of us. Yeah. So just think it over and share your views as to how we can really make our association more fruitful for individual as well as for the group activity easier.
Sure. On a serious note, what Neeraj asked, actually, I'd like to point out, Neeraj, whether it is Africa or any place, right? Wherever your calling is, right, and you're comfortable and you feel you are the most productive and happy person, I think you should be there, right? There was a time I packed up everything, went back to Dehradun, where I grew up, set up a coaching center, and I was happy, teaching physics, maths to the kids. My relatives were not happy कि ये आईआईटी करके ये बच्चों को ट्यूशन पढ़ाएगा क्या तो मेरे पेरेंट्स को इसको कोई पंडित पंडित को दिखाओ इसकी पतरी क्या हो गया है इसको but I was very that was one of the most content part like I one of the student I taught like he didn't go to great place but he did well right and one of his friends went to IIT right both of them partnered later on set up a digital marketing company they have an office now in Dehradun and Noida around 400 people they employ, right? So the satisfaction that I got being a teacher was great. So all I want to say is, whether Africa, Mongolia, wherever you are, right? I think what's your calling, where you feel comfortable, you think you are productive, you're contributing, it makes you feel, contented. That's where you should be without anybody's, saying whatever they are saying.
Correct. Right.
Madam Saab, I have an idea on what the Alumni Association could do more for getting people together.
Right.
I think if we could initiate some small projects.
Okay.
I mean, some examples I can think of from personal interest. Maybe, like content creation.
Okay.
So, each of us are in different fields, but there are some fields which would be common to all of us, like mathematics.
Yes.
So, just as an example, creating some content for school children, for instance. I mean, it would require some architecture and some project management. But, I think a product created by IIT alumni for school children learning mathematics could have a tremendous marketing potential. I'm just, projecting.
Yeah, I agree with you. As Ganesh rightly pointed out, I mean, he really enjoyed teaching people. That was sharing the knowledge which he has gained while he was at IIT. And okay, he feels satisfied that somebody else is prospering here. It gives you satisfaction. I'm sure we can find people who have the same kind of a thinking, get them together, let this platform be used by us for giving it back to the society. That's very, very important. Yeah. So, Umesh Saab, if you have such kind of an ideas, maybe we can collect a couple of peoples and see how we can proceed further on that. Yeah, and really put it in practice here.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah. Thanks a lot, for that.
Concluding remarks from anyone.
You are the moderator. Come on, Gitanji, it is your duty to do it.
No, I am actually really pleased that you all actually joined us today, and sincerely thank Mr. Ashneer Grover that he actually joined us today, shared, and some more people we would have loved to have them today, but I'm sure the recording is there, and like contributing towards IITDA, I think I welcome you all. You can give in your suggestions, and we have an executive committee. The committee actually meets every month, and we can take some of your suggestions and we can make them into projects and you can contribute. So thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you, everybody, and hope to meet up with you guys sometime. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Take care. Yeah, sure. was having the question? Bye for now.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.